Want to know. He's asking with some attitude.
Be all like, go have fun, yo.
Yeah, I definitely think Fritz could have done a lot more with that attack.
Yeah, and I mean that was sort of like a whole Inish attempt because he had no second base going on while Anadorn had his second orbital going on. So he probably saw that and was like, okay, I'm not coming back from this.
Yeah.
GG.
Well, I mean, and with the tank sieged, if you take a Marine or two up the ramp,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can spot for your siege tanks on the low ground, you could maybe kill off a lot of the Marines and then win that battle. But just move up the ramp. I mean,
Yeah, that definitely could have been frustrating since his siege tech was so behind.
oh yeah, I mean there wouldn't have been much I think Anathorn could have done in those positions to really hold it if he would have had those siege tanks sieged up, on the low ground or at the bottom of the ramp or something where he could really abuse those siege tanks.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. And I think Anadorn was probably thinking if his opponent goes some kind of fast command center play, then his non-cloak Banshee would have started doing a lot of damage while he does some kind of tank push.
Right.
I think that's his thought process.
So in the end, though, definitely worked out for Anathorn in every way,
definitely
shape,
worked
or
out.
form. I mean, he had that expansion already up. He held the attack, crushed the attack. I mean, more or less. I mean, with those Marines just running up the ramp like that, the Banshees and stuff were able to do so much damage. It was ridiculous.
Yep, so 3 quick wins from Anadorn. First game was, I guess that's a mid-game situation.
Yeah.
But last 2 games has been pretty quick. I'd love
yeah,
to see a macro TVT though.
So we're going to say the next best possibility of a macro game with MLG Tal'Darim Altar. So definitely the biggest map in the ladder pool. The easiest to get up on 3 bases on. Question is, will we see it in this game finally?
And his player is, I cannot see his name. I wish I could check on his profile though. Actually wants a rematch.
It's supposed to be a Pemlo. A Pemlo? A Pemlo? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
Has a pretty badass portrait.
So it looks like he's going to be playing random? This should be interesting. Haven't had a lot of, pure random players in the tournament. Speaking Cheeser? Are you speaking
Cheeser.
from experience, 13?
Oh yes. I play random on ladder and when I get Zerg, oh, you'll see that coming.
So you're saying when you play random and you get something other than Terran, your thought process is cheese.
Yep, definitely.
So it looks like we're waiting just a sec for a Pemlo. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I gotta be honest.
And he has pretty decent records, so I assume he's pretty good.
Yep, so we're gonna have Apemlo versus Anathorn. Nightmare versus VP. Game number 4. VP is up 3-0. Anathorn trying to pull off the all-kill. So we'll see if he can continue that as he comes up against the random players. So first question is definitely going to be, what is the random guy going to spawn? And then what's he going to do after that?
Yep. And how much more wins do we need? 2?
I'm assuming 2. I don't know for sure if this is a best of 5 or not. I'm assuming this is a standard Koth-style clan war. But this was all made at kind of a last-minute clan war type of thing, so not entirely sure. But we are going to be having cross positions. First off, we're going to have spawning as the blue Protoss down in the bottom left-hand corner of the map is going to be a Pemlo, and then spawning over here at the top right corner of the map as the red Terran is going to be VP Anathorn.
Protoss vs Terran, first time today, so I'm quite excited.
Yep, we're going to be getting a different matchup here. Had 2 TVTs, had a ZVT. ZVT, I mean, what can I say? Anathorn basically held him to 2 bases the whole game and crushed him.
Yep.
So we have Anathorn moving out here. I'm assuming maybe an early scout, but no, actually not even really scouting early. Not too concerned with whatever the other player is doing. Apparently must have a build in mind that he feels is pretty safe against anything that, any kind of race that a Pemlo could be. So we'll just have to wait and see what these guys are going to do. This is a rather large map, so definitely a more macro-oriented build could definitely be extremely strong on this map. I mean, you're definitely going to have a lot easier defending on a map of this magnitude and size, especially with the way the ramps are set up. And you got that small ramps to the entrances to the natural and to the third.
Yep, and Avathorn doesn't know what race he is, so he's still scouting. He's not sure what build he should go, should he take the gas or not,
Yep.
etc.
Is going to be walling off his front, though, just in case he were Zerg. But obviously, since he's not Zerg, that's not going to be the case of need at this point in time. So, I mean, I don't mind this opening, to be totally honest. I mean, just getting some supply depots, getting his first barracks up, maybe bank a little bit of minerals, and then, you know, once he knows that he's playing against Protoss player, then he can actually, you know, go, okay, now I know what I want to do.
Wow, pretty fast wall. I think he's afraid of a 6-portion attic. Oh.
I mean, I couldn't blame him. I mean, random players, I mean, especially on a map like Tal'Darim that is so big where it's so hard to scout. I know personally speaking, when I play a random on Tal'Darim, it is not the best feeling in the world. So I think he's going to be pretty happy to see this probe at the front of his base and to get his SCV into the base of a Pelmolo here and kind of see what's going on.
So this is cross position. I think Amathorn will take a pretty quick expansion right there at the natural. Just drop it right there, and we'll see how the Protoss player reacts to it. I think you'll probably expect it.
Yeah, I mean, a 1x expand definitely could be a safe way to go out of this. I mean, he's already banked the minerals for it. He knows he's against a Protoss now, so he knows there's not going to be kind of like super fast aggression like you could see more with a Terran player or a Zerg player. I mean, Protoss, I mean, sure they can get aggressive in the early game, but in my opinion, like something like a 2-gateway Zealot push or something like that, it's a lot more all-in than, you know, a handful of Zerglings or a handful of Marines.
So I think the Protoss player will take a Nexus since he has a probe there. I'm not sure if he's faking it or...
It looks like he is saving up for it, so I'd almost assume at this point that that will be the route he goes. 400 minerals just now. 460, and there it is. So he is going to expand as well, so we're going to get a more macro-oriented game this time. Amathorn
awesome.
Out of bunker.
And it's pretty weird he took a really quick second gas, but is not using it anyhow, so...
Yeah,
kind of wondering if that's a mistake or he just making up the build orders as he go. I do that a lot.
Well, I think maybe, possibly, that, you know, he starts his build and he knows that Amathorn's Terran, and maybe he was a little bit worried about maybe... I mean, with Amathorn playing blind, I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility for him to do something like just open 2 racks randomly or something like that. So maybe he wanted the extra gas in case he felt like he needed to get his sentry or something out fast. I don't know.
Probably.
So we do
and I think Amathorn is going to play a lot more safer because he's not sure. He doesn't know whether the Protoss player is going to go for a Nexus or some kind of 3-gate, 4-gate pressure that can really be pretty deadly.
Yeah, and instead of what we have the Protoss doing, as you can see the vision, he doesn't even know if there's an expansion at the natural yet. The Protoss is actually going to be going for the fastest, most riskiest third I think you could possibly go for.
Oh my gosh.
Although, if you're going to do it on any map, this might be the map to do it on, because, I mean, it is such a large map, it's so much harder to get really good scouting information on this map. There's so many expansions that he might actually get away with this, and this could be huge if he actually does get away with it.
Yep, and he invests 2 bunkers, and I think he's just trying to be really safe against... Probably felt like he's the better player here. And Pono would cheese him.
Yeah, but kind of just the opposite. We have like an extremely greedy macro build coming out of the
yes.
He's getting up a Twilight Council, a couple more gateways getting added, so he's going to be going up to 4 gateways off of what will very soon be 3 bases. And I think really this game's going to come down to whether or not Amathorn actually thinks to scout that base out or not, because if he doesn't see that base go up and he thinks the Protoss is just running on 2 bases and kind of hunkers down on 2 bases himself, it's definitely going to give the Protoss player a huge advantage.
Templar Archives, that's interesting. He's not going for the standard Colossus play.
Nope, looks like he's going to be going, I assume, straight into Templar tech, or maybe some kind of Zealot Archon type of build. I mean, we haven't seen those become a lot more popular lately.
And I think sooner or later Protoss will be saturated on his third, and that's not good.
No, that's definitely going to be not what you would want to find out later in the game as Anathorn. I mean, Anathorn just happens to go scout it later in the game. He's like, oh, look, a third. I'll just kill it now. Oh, wait, it's almost mined out already. Oh, no wonder this game has been so difficult.
Right now, Anathorn has a supply lead, a huge supply lead, and army count, but soon, once the economy kicks in for the Protoss player, he'll be in a big trouble.
Yeah, a couple more probes getting transferred over here even. This third is just now starting to come online. A couple of High Templar getting made. It's going to be morphing them to Archon, so he is going to be going with that Zealot Archon style play. I don't even see any signs of Psionic Storm getting researched. It doesn't look like he's going to really be relying on the Psionic Storm so much as the Zealot and the Archon composition.
Yes, and I think Anathorn's playing overly safe. He really didn't tech really quick. Like, he did not take his third and fourth gas. So he's gonna sit in this... Oh, he made a Ghost Academy. This can work out pretty good for Anathorn right now, if he does a good push.
Yeah, I definitely think this could potentially work out. I mean, the Protoss players' forces are definitely low right now. So with that, 2 base into a fairly quick Ghost Academy, I guess I would say. Gets out 1 Ghost. If he pushes right now, I mean, he definitely has a good chance at it. I mean... Protoss player, if you look at this army, is fairly small. One well-placed EMP could definitely do a ton of damage to the Protoss army.
Right now, this is his timing. If he does not do some damage with this push, I think it's going to go really bad for Anathorn.
Yeah, I mean, especially since that Protoss economy, he's even got 2 more gateways on the way. It's just going to be ramping up more and more as time goes. So,
and the Protoss player is Supply Block. Supply Block, this is sweet. Awesome.
Supply Block probably at the worst possible time you could be Supply Blocked. He's got 5 gateways now and can build exactly no units.
Uh-oh, Supply Blocked again. This is not going so well for the Protoss.
And this could be actually working out extremely well for Anathorn. He does have that EMP.
He's going to on EMP.
Here comes the push. There's awesome. The EMP. Hits all the units of Apelmo. Units getting absolutely just obliterated now with no shields. The only thing that's actually got any shields left is that Archon. But 1 Archon versus a whole bunch of Brains Marauders lasts about that long, guys.
And this risk did not go out, turn out so well for the Protoss. And our closest pylon goes down on powering 3 gates.
Yep. All his gateways except for 1 now empowered. He's got a handful of Zealots left to try and defend this whole thing right now. I just see this going nowhere but backwards for the Protoss player. 1 gateway still up. It's going to be going after that 1 last pylon, and there's the GG. Anathorn going 4-0 over Team Nightmare now.
Awesome, 1 more win. I got the information from General Han. Yeah, I think it's first 1 to 5.
So it's going to be the first 1 to 5, so... With that being the case, we're going to have 1 more game coming up for you guys. Potentially more, if somebody from Team Nightmare could come back and try and... essentially counter all kill VP.
That would be quite depressing. But I like to see some wins from Team Nightmare. I'd love to see more games going on.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't mind seeing somebody pick off Anathorn just so we can get some more games here.
Anathorn's doing extremely well. I'm actually pretty surprised. I thought Anathorn was gonna perhaps take out 1 guy and lose. I think I underestimated him a lot. I feel bad.
Yeah, definitely. So we're finding out the next player right now, guys. If you can't hear me over the music, that's probably fine. I think Team Nightmare wants Anathorn to lose. Apparently we've got a player selection by committee going on here.
I could not believe that worked out so well for Anadon.